Good morning. A little shadowy here on the start of our walk today. Sure glad to have you. Hope you enjoy a little walk in the woods. I come through this way because I wanted to see. We're in late June, and a lot of the berries are starting to come to ripeness. As you can see here are wild strawberries. They're very small. These are almost ripe. Yeah, almost ripe. They are very small, like I had said. Obviously, you can see. You'll excuse me while I taste one. Still some sweetness. It's going to need a little bit more time, but coming along. This patch I've seen before, and it's not that many of them, but each year it kind of grows. The other thing about this spot on the trail is that it's an animal trail. You can see the broken grass, the bent down grass, and weeds along this area. Excuse me. And so this is off the path, but it is a path, animal path. This is no doubt a deer path. A dog will inspect it. But you can see the grass knocked down. But not only that, you can see the opening. There's one that might over there be possibly another. They'll use this path to go into the deeper woods. And someday we'll go down there. It's a bit of a bushwhack. This time of year, the brush is kind of thick. But the dog, I follow her when it comes to a lot of the trails. She takes the low ground, and I'll keep an eye out on the high ground. We work together. Wow. We're here coming across a plant that I just don't have any love for. This is called buckhorn, common name. You might be able to see that little prickly end, horn, buckhorn, its leaves, and it's starting to create its fruit. I don't like this plant. I love all of God's nature, but this plant we need to look back on and respect it for what it is and what it does. This plant is not native to the North Americans as far as I know, but was brought over because it grows quickly, thickly. It's ornamental in its way, these nice smaller leaves. It makes a great hedge along against fields. Its problem is that it just wants to grow and take over everything. And it does it in a way that is pretty spectacular. You see those little seeds, first off. When they are ripe, they're going to be black. And obviously, they become berries. She's found herself probably a little rabbit trail. And those berries are consumed by birds. They must look delicious. I've tasted them. They do have a lightly sour taste. But inside that berry they produce is 4 seeds. 4 individual seeds inside those very small berries, which means there's not a lot of flesh to the berries. But the thing about it is those berries are dietetic, which basically means once it enters the body of, we feed the deer. Here's some more remnants of corn cobs. Let me catch up to the dog here. She's taking the low road, and I have to push through the high road through these buckhorns. You can see they're all along the edges here. Anyways, dietetic, which means that once it enters the bird's body or any animal's body, the digestive system is disrupted, and I wouldn't know the whole biological terms, but basically it creates diarrhea. It'll create diarrhea in the birds, which means the seeds pass through their stomach in its full form. It isn't broken down by the acids of the stomach, and yet indeed also removes part of the outer shell of the seed, which makes it even more quickly germinated once it's in the ground. The bird poops out the seeds hit the ground, they're in a great place for them, they start to grow and then root and continues this ongoing thing, especially around the tree itself, into the field part. It will continuously push forward to take over a whole field, and that's a problem. But not only is it then taking the sunlight out of different kinds of ground plants, it also releases a toxin or poison, maybe not all the right science words for what it's doing, but its root system makes the soil hard for other plants to even grow in. Maybe it's an acidity that plants can't germinate in, but the final note is that they have a lot of mechanisms to proliferate its species, and I've seen it around especially the apple trees. It'll end up growing around the apple trees and just killing it off. It's just everywhere around the bottom of it. And it's been a problem. It has to be cut back. It has, I've heard as many as, takes up about 3 years of cutting them back to finally kill it. Herbicides that are put on there to knock down its growth. It is a tough plant to kill. I just can't even help but think about how this plant illustrates some of the evilness in this world. You get what I'm saying? The fruit looks good, but it's just going to give you diarrhea. The consequences of it is never good for you. Once it takes hold, it poisons out, kills any goodness that's around and in you. It uses others to propagate its insidiousness. I think evil's a lot like that. Once it gets hold, it takes a lot of work to get rid of. Well, I wish I was telling you a more happy story. I kind of maybe meditate on that over your day. Be aware of the evil in this world and know that it is there. I like to say that I believe it is being an entity, a being. I know that sounds kind of strange and weird. Oh, even as I say that, I know that so many people are out there talking about UFOs and aliens and all that other, spiritual, devil. Well, there's some truth to this. Think about it. Be aware of it. Although, walk in God's grace. Enjoy the beauty of this world. Some people become what they hate, and other people become what they love. Become something you love. God bless you. Thanks for walking with me.